Hey everybody, Klesso here. We're back for the final round of 3v3 Season 4 Grand Arena. This is the finals. Here's a look at my defense. Got a Night Sister team, GK Barris, and a triple tank team. Behind that, I've got my Bastila team and a Tarkin Empire team. Up above, where I set my hardest defense, Revan, Bossk Bounty Hunters, and a Palpatine Sith team. And behind that, not a very hard defense. I'm hoping he doesn't get past my Revan team. My first order's a little bit undergeared. Maul doesn't do much against people anymore these days. Here's a look at his defense. Z-Maul, Phoenix, and Imperial Troopers. Below that, his harder section. Got a Rogue One, a good First Order, and a good Bounty Hunter team. I'm going to do what I should have done the last couple matches and not waste my Zeta Finn on Bounty Hunters, because it hasn't worked, so I've given up, and I'm just going straight JTR right from the get-go, not taking any chances. I always try to just focus on Bossk, get him out of there, and then worry about who's ever with him. Because if he goes off, it gets ugly real fast. If he starts getting his taunt up, and contract comes out, and it goes south real fast. So I just kind of brute force through Bossk. Alright, he's done. Now I can go over to Boba Fett for a little bit. I think I'm going to leave him there. I'm going to go work on Dengar for a minute. Since Boba Fett has the days on him and the 3 stacks of confusion, if I take Boba Fett out, he'll revive and have almost 100% turn meter. So that's why I switched over to Dengar. And I'll leave Boba Fett for last. See? So, not a problem, but at the same time, I didn't want to kill him and still have to face 2 at the same time. Now I'm going to do my usual counter to First Order. My Ewoks. One of my favorite little teams. So happy that they made us finish the Ewoks to get C-3PO. I already had all mine farmed, but they weren't geared as high as I've been. I kept putting them off and putting them off, even though I knew how good they were. But I'm glad that the game kind of forced us to do that. The same way the game forced us to work on Bounty Hunters for Chewie. But man, they're so good little factions. You know, at the time, you're not very happy that you got to work so hard to get these factions up, to get these legendary characters, but man, they're so good for all aspects of the game. Keep working on Kylo Ren Unmasked. AoE. Man, that stun from Kylo Ren Unmasked is pretty nasty. But this is never really in question. Pretty easy round. It's always a bit of a grind with Ewoks, but there's so much control that it's not a big deal. It's just a waiting game. He's out of there. Now work on regular Kylo Ren. He's always a pain to kill because he takes forever. But you just keep grinding away and he eventually dies with the Ewoks. That's usually the kill order I always go on. I take out whoever the third guy is, because it varies. This time it was Executioner. He was the squishiest, so I want to play 3-on-2. Then I always work on Kylo Ren on mass. Then I leave regular Kylo Ren because he's the longest it takes to grind down. Alright, working on this section. Now he put in Phoenix, which I don't do anymore just because of this. You can pretty much put in Wampa by himself and it's game over. You get all kinds of bonus points for unused slots. So, yeah, you can see how that's... So I saw an opportunity here to get some bonus points with unused slots, so that's what I did. 55 banners. Now, my opponent today is very good. He set a softer defense in the front sections, which I haven't seen before, but is actually a really smart strategy because I had to be super careful on what to keep because I don't know what's behind them, and I'm guessing they're going to be hard. And I was pretty right about that. So this team I like against Z-Maul. It's worked several times before. It could have went a little bit better this round. I ended up taking out Maul and Sith Assassin, but Savage goes crazy on me here in a second, and I have to go back in with a cleanup team and take him out. But I thought I was sitting pretty right here, but man, his Savage was really just handing it to me. And I almost had, a couple hits go right, and this doesn't happen, and I don't have to go back and clean it up, but it's not a big deal. That Zeta on him makes him so crazy with all the health overtime and all that. So my thought here was to put in Grievous for his chance to land heal immunity. And do it right here, but it doesn't land, so it didn't even do any good. But then this happens. Man, Spy hit for over 46,000. I didn't even know that was possible. So I'm happy I put that in, even though that's not what I was counting on for it to work. So now I'm going to use my Zeta Finn on his Imperial Trooper team. Instead of the last couple rounds where I've wasted on Bosk, figured this would work. And it works great. Zeta Finn's awesome. Keep hitting those exposes. That's about it on this one. Pretty easy. Now, this is the last one on the front wall. This is the bottom. And this is probably overkill. But I didn't want to take any chances because I wanted to see what was behind this section. So I gambled a little bit and went strong, but at the same time, I wasn't too sure what to use against this Chase team. So I ended up just going for the sure thing and hoping I didn't screw up too bad. It's not that big of a deal in the long run. Here's his top back wall, and I was right, he set a pretty decent defense back here on the top back. And here I was trying to get a little cute. This scoundrel team he has in, my thought was just, you want to annihilate Nest. So I split up Nihilus from the Sith Triumvirate, And I was hoping just to last long enough to annihilate Nest. And then if I had to come back in and clean up whatever, if I got the other ones killed while I'm waiting to get Annihilate ready, great. But I screwed up. And instead of Death Trooper here, I should have used Thrawn and Fractured Nest to give me time to get Nihilus's Annihilate going. And it didn't happen. So this is a waste. And I wanted to also, he has two, I found out once I beat that bottom section that in the back, he has two phenomenal Night Sister teams back there. So I was trying to split up my Sith Triumvirate a little bit to maybe use Traya and Scion against one of those teams with a third. But I go back in with this just because I can't take any chances here. I got to clear this. I know I have to clear this top section to have a chance. We'll isolate. Get Kira out of there. Now I'm going to get rid of L3. Keep Nest locked down while I work on L3. Alright, days on Nest, so no more counters when Fracture's gone. Isolate again. I want to get my big hit on Nest coming up just to get ability block, and then I'll start. There we go. Now we got ability block and tenacity down. So now I'll pretty much just start using basics. Let her get some turns, but she has all the debuffs I need for her not to be dangerous. Get a little bit more protection added back to Traya. Try to get an extra point or two. There we go. Not too shabby. I screwed that up, cost myself 20 banners or so by not just putting in Thrawn with that original Rex Nihilus team. And I cost myself probably even more because then I could have used them against one of the Night Sister teams on the bottom. This is my normal counter for Bastila, but he didn't set Bastila on defense. So I'm just doing the exact same thing that I normally do and get Master's Training on my Nest that's modded for no speed and all tenacity and hit auto, and works really good against Jedi teams and this team with all the exposes and everything. Even though Zeta Bears is in there, Nest gets so strong that it just starts hitting through stuff, and with the exposes it works great. Boom. Thought about using this on his one Night Sister team too, without Talzin, the Asajj Ventress lead, but I didn't know what else I could use to take this team out because it's so tricky with that GK Barriss. So I was just going for the sure thing and cleaning up and getting the points for clearing this top section, which was more than clearing the bottom section because there's only two teams down there. So here I use a Phoenix team. I wasn't sure how this was going to work. And then when I started getting all these debuffs, I started getting a little nervous. But it ends up going fine. Phoenix are awesome on offense, especially with these three, Kanan Zeta and Sabine Zeta, and Hera being able to put the revive on one of them. Right there, I put it on Sabine just in case, because she's kind of squishy. Another armor shred. Right here, all those buffs go away. Love Kanan for that. That's awesome. Now it's over. I'm in control, and now it's just a matter of time. All right. Well, that is pretty much that. This is where we end at. I ended up winning. He messaged me. We've been talking a little bit back and forth in game, and he struggled against some of my teams. You can see 3 matches on that top Rebel Revive team, which he struggled with because he struggled with going against Revan 3 times, and here my Bossk 3 times, and lower earlier he struggled against my triple tank team. So, but this was a great match. He was very smart on how he set up his defense. He didn't have anything, he said, for my back wall, and I didn't have anything for his bottom back. So, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. We'll do it again.